Training today. We want to go over the Facebook ads. I just did it. Actually, I was doing really well, but this last one, I had a little bit difficulty. So we're going to go through when a Facebook ad is not performing the way you want it to, what we're going to do. Okay. Then we're going to talk about some follow-up techniques. And I also want to mention there was a email that just went live in the email follow-up template. So I want to share that with you guys as well. So let's jump in. First of all, let's
Yeah.
talk about the Facebook ad for down payment assistance. This has been my evergreen Facebook ad. It has generated tremendous leads for me. I'm just about to close the first USDA loan from the ads I ran, and I'm working on another separate deal right now, and I also have 10 different buyers I'm working on. So this has been I call it the evergreen campaign that you should be running every week.
Real quick, let me just say real quickly,
Yeah,
if the ad is performing well, you should not let it die. You should just keep extending it.
right.
And usually I let it run for a while. And you can see here, it's the same ad, right? Started back in November and we were doing 418 a lead, 440 for a lead, 499. And then this one here, 855. And so what I did is I stopped it, right, pretty quickly. And I reran it. We got back to 526, 434, 577, a little higher, but still good. These are great. And we're going to show you how to use custom questions so that the leads are even better qualified than normal. But check this out, 933 a lead. So what do you do, right? What do you do when this kind of happens? One thing you can do is just wait and see if it's going to perform better. But dang, no, you know what? I ain't
We'll
playing.
turn it off. Yeah.
I ain't playing. So if you ever see an ad, so first of all, the first thing is if an ad is performing well, you can just extend it. So for example, let's say this ad right here, now it's too late, but let's assume this ad was still running and it was, I'd say 2 days before the ad is going to end or the day before. Listings to leads will send you an email letting you know that the ad is going to end the next day. I would go in and take a look at it if you hadn't recently. And if that's doing pretty good for you, what you can do is this, click edit. So there's a little edit icon right there, click edit. And this will come up. So you'll be in the work area, scroll down and click budget. And right here, I can just add more money to it. So I previously spent 200. So I might say, you know what, let's do 300. So that's going to be an extra $100. So 200 to 300. So $100 more. So the total budget, and then extend it out on the calendar another week. All right. And then that way the ad will keep running. Because here's the deal. Sometimes the algorithm just misfires, right? It's like a lot of different things. Like you're doing something and you're just off on the wrong track. You got to take a quick break, get back into it, and it's beautiful. Same thing with the ads. I've noticed that before. So what we're going to do is I'm going to redo the ad and I'm going to open up another tab because this ad is pretty custom. But what we're doing is it's a down payment assistance ad. So I'm going to go create Facebook ad, create landing page ad. And then from the drop down here, I'm going to go down payment assistance. It's a lead ad, create ad. Now, tell you, we have another lender. He's doing better than you are.
Right. He's in Florida. Right.
Yeah, he's in Florida. He's doing like under $2. And it's very similar to what E is doing. He's using video and custom text. So location, I'll do Roseville, California. And you want to do 25 miles or you want to do 15?
I think we usually do what do we normally do? 15 or 25?
We'll do 25. That's fine.
25 is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, lifetime of 35 is
A little
ridiculous.
too low. Yeah.
Way too low. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do 100 for the week. But now I'm going to change out all that text. And I just want to use the text I had from before. So let me go to an older ad that was doing well, and I'm just gonna grab that same text.
Go to the $4.34. It's all the same, really.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
That was this is the same as that one. So I'm just gonna
Control
copy that
A,
text.
Control C. Okay.
Yep, and just paste it in there. And instead of that image,
We're gonna input a video.
yeah, so change image and it's the same video for the last 3 months. My files and video, and here's that video.
Yeah. Insert.
Because we want homeowners to feel like this is up to date, it's relative to what's happening in the market. Using our default text is totally fine, but I think it's just more powerful to reference what's actually happening in the market, right? Or what's been happening. So here's that video. We got the text. All right. Now here's the next super important part that you're going to want to pay attention to, which is custom questions. All right. The better questions, the better replies, and the more value that we're going to be able to offer people. So I'm going to turn on advanced options, create new, and then right here, these questions. Because before, right, name, email, and phone number are going to be default. But check out all these questions. We have tons of questions. And you forget, what do you like? We got, what is your time frame to buy? You like that one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And then we go down, see if you qualify for a zero down. You don't like that
No, we
one.
don't like that one. I want the maximum monthly payment and the
Yeah.
credit score.
What is the maximum monthly payment you're comfortable with? That one?
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
then
it's
the
gonna
credit
wait, oh,
score.
no, you know what though? We like the blank forms, they can drop in whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then your credit score? Okay.
Does the credit score have the drop down? I forgot. Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you only wanna have 3 turned on in addition to name, email, and phone
Naming,
number. And now I can see right here, what is your time frame to buy? That's gonna be a drop down. It's like 1 to 3, 3 to 6, and so
6,
on.
6 to 12. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the absolute maximum you're able to make? Wait, what's the absolute maximum monthly payment you'll be? Yeah, okay.
You feel
And then
comfortable
how would you
with.
describe your credit?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Create form. And I'm just gonna close advanced options and create ad. That's it. The ad should be live in, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe a half hour. But so so again, we run an ad, and if it's doing well, you may not want to let it end. You want it to extend. So I showed you how you can extend the ad by adding more money and then by extending the ending date. Okay. And that'll extend the ad, it'll keep running. And the good thing about that is the algorithm that Facebook has, I know it's impossible to really know what is happening, but I'm just having done this long enough, I know sometimes you'll just get an ad and it's just a stinker, right? It lays an
It
egg.
happens. Yeah. Yeah.
It just happens. And so instead of trying to edit the ad, 9 times out of 10, if I just turn it off and I redo it, it'll be just fine. So that's number 1. And then number 2 is those custom questions, right? Especially for a lender, can be very powerful because now when Yi gets a lead, she will know, she'll have those 3 answers. What is their time frame to buy? What is their credit score? And what is the maximum amount they're comfortable paying? And let's talk about why that's helpful.
Yeah. Before when I was running down payment assistance, I didn't have the right mindset, like what questions to ask. So you get all kinds of leads, right? And the follow up was just painful because it's hard to know exactly what questions to ask them. But now with the very specific questions, okay, if their credit is not great, and on top of it, if their payment is small, those are not really the hottest leads you want to chase. But if they have a really high enough monthly payment they feel comfortable with, and their credit score is decent, and all of a sudden these are the hot leads you want immediately. Just get on a call, text them, follow up really fast. So that's just makes priorities for you. And you only have certain amount of time to follow up. So that gives you urgency and prioritize all your tasks. And it makes your conversation with your lead so much easier. Okay, I see you want to do 2000 to 25. Could I ask what neighborhood you're interested in? Because in your mind, 2025, maybe they're like in the lower tier. Are they even in the same page with you? So these are really good conversation openers.
Yeah. So do you find that people are pretty accurate when you talk to them with
Well,
enter?
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, the credit score definitely, when they tell you they have bad score, it's pretty much always true.
You get somebody with a bad score, what's the strategy there as far as, because we don't want to lose, hey, you're going to be a lender in 2 to 3 years, most likely. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
talk.
give you a by example. So he told me his score is about 620-ish,
Mhm.
620, 630. Okay. And I want to buy it. And his payment is 2000, not to exceed 2000. And when I text him, I called him. He said, I want to buy a manufactured home. Because in people see this thing, people think if I'm talking about California here, 2000, yeah, it's not much he can choose. So he thinks buying manufactured home is where he's at. So this is the conversation like why? Okay, you shift them from buying manufacturing home to something that can actually own versus just leasing the land.
Mm,
And so I'm trying to move people from something that I cannot really do to
right,
something that I can't help. And it's in their benefit. So the
right,
next conversation is, okay, why is your credit 630? What's preventing you from
right.
having a better score? Because if you want those people interested in down payment and I need a 660, so how do we fix it? So that's the second conversation. And then you should have like your credit repair strategies or that PDF guides ready. And then you can send to your leads depending on what their needs are. So that's a really good drip campaign.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's actually a great idea because as a lender, just as an agent,
Yeah.
understanding what guide you may have other resources available, but in listings to leads, we've got all of these PDF guides available. So if there's something, for example, you were doing what, USDA loan?
Yeah.
So we got a USDA guide.
Yeah,
We've got
I need to go
FHA.
look, making sure it's updated. So
Yeah.
USDA, and I'm actually gonna work on since I'm giving the credit repair strategies for the client, it's not really credit repair, it's really what they need to focus on. There's some easy things that they can do. So that would be a good PDF to put in the resource here.
Yeah, it would be right because the idea of credit repair is a little bit of a longer term strategy, but there are some
Yeah,
definitely those things that people can do immediately to at least start
absolutely. Yeah.
going down that path. Yeah, no,
To
that's
raise
awesome.
it. Yeah, because a lot of buyers, they probably just need a quick 20 points up and they can do very easily by lower their credit utilization rate. So
And so what's the minimum credit people need right now to qualify for down payment assistance?
every state is different. In California, this particular program is if you don't mind a little bit higher rate is 600.
600. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
somebody
a
has,
better program is like 660, depending on
okay. And if
scenario.
someone, let's just say they had a 600 credit score, how long how long would it take for them to get it to the minimum that they needed?
Oh, to the 660?
Yeah.
It really depends on why it's 600, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different debt has different issues, but yeah, so if we could do a PDF guide on, that'd be awesome.
yeah,
Because again, there's a lot of now for the person that's at 400, 350, that's a whole different conversation. But
yeah,
if you got somebody that's on the cusp, we want to be able to get them some information to be able to walk them through. Yeah, what are the things that you can do without bringing in a debt consolidation or doing something absolutely drastic to where you can 3 or 4 months from now? Because again, we want to build a pipeline. Some of these leads are going to be ready to do something quicker. They're going to have good credit. They're going to have a good income. Amazing. That's fabulous. But there's a lot of people out there that make good money, but they got something stupid. This financial literacy around the world and in the US is
yeah,
atrocious for most people.
yeah.
Just atrocious.
Yeah, so the way I look at it, this down payment system, this Facebook ad strategy is essentially building your big pool, right? And
Mm,
then you have different follow-up strategies so you can continue to have this conversation. And people who feel like you are educating them, you're not like salesy, and they're more
yep,
likely to trust you.
yep, yep.
And so,
Um,
because people don't want to be pushed to do something. And I feel I call them 3 times, if you don't answer the phone, then they just don't wanna talk to you right now, which is fine. Give them the information they need, whether it's credit strategy, when it's down payment, the actual down payment scenarios that they can relate to. And on top of that, I do YouTube social media stuff so you can educate for different topics as well. Because you want to,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
especially, I honestly, I think, I know this is hard now that I'm getting back into loan production. I feel every loan is stressful. That's why most loan agents, like, staying at their desks, they can't think of anything else, doing this, doing that. But you do wanna spend a little bit of time thinking how you build a little bit of, social media presence, because most lenders don't, and if you do, I think it's very powerful
yeah.
because you're creating an area for people to actually listen to you, feel like, "Oh, he or she is educating me." That's cool. 'Cause if you look at there's a survey, 76% of the first-time buyers say they are learning the process from the agent. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Most of the real estate agent don't know anything about, like, budget, pre-approval, whatever. So what can they teach the buyer? So as a lender, you should think I need to be that person who can really give them the whole buying process, make them understand it, versus when they talk to the realtor, that's the wrong step to start with. They should really be talking to a lender first.
Yeah, that is so true. It is crazy
Not
because I
educating.
was an agent and yeah, especially in the past, and it's true, even with the buyer agency agreements, it's still probably true where most buyers, they start going to the open houses first before they actually get everything dialed in, right?
Yeah, before they actually have any plans.
Yeah. Yeah. Markeisha, what is your thought on that? What do when so she's a lender and a real estate agent. Do you find people come in on the real estate side first, or do they come in on the loan side first? And what's your strategy, or how does it normally work with you to get them to the point where it's like, listen, you may not be absolutely prepared now, and you got, again, some of these people, they're right on the cusp, so it's not a hard thing to, "Hey, don't buy a TV, don't buy anything on major credit for the near future." Then you're gonna have some of those that are just dead in the water. They're at 400, 450, 500 credit score. But we wanna build that pipeline. So we want short-term people, we want long-term people. Yeah, awesome. Real quickly, let's shift for a quick minute. We just so yeah, she says real estate first and then educate them on the
The
process. Yep,
process, yeah. See, the
yep.
problem with that I always see is that's where all the surprises, the stress, everything, because they don't know anything, and they're
Well, and
like,
most estate
yeah,
agents are not lenders, so they
yeah,
don't have that
exactly.
ability.
Yeah,
I know you keep threatening to get your real estate license too, because not that the real estate side is the easy side, at least for buyers, but man, the loan side is so critical,
yeah,
right?
totally,
And
and that's
you got that buyer, you posted in the mastermind group the other day, you got that buyer and they're making an offer and the agent didn't even offer them comps, right?
yeah,
What the hell?
and I
You
found
know,
out that because the listing agent called me, I found out that the buyer's agent, well, apparently she's been in the industry for quite some time. I don't know.
yeah, because
Yes,
you were sitting here looking up comps one night, and I asked, I was like, what do you or you asked me a
I'm just
question. You're like, "Hey,
curious.
can I find comps on Zillow or something?" And I'm like, "Why are you looking at comps?" "Well, my buyer and the agent didn't give him any comps, and they just want to," she said, "to make a full price offer." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I cannot believe the buyer's agent would not have a bit of a strategy call with that buyer to say, okay. And hey, if it's a full price offer is appropriate, then so be it. But at least the buyer's agent should have gotten with that buyer. Again, Marquesha, I'd love to see what you say on this. But it's almost like a reverse CMA with the buyer to say, yes, let's make a full price offer. And here is why. Here are the other homes that have recently sold. Here are the other homes currently on the market. And this home it's only been on the market for 8 days. So it's not like the home had been on the market for a month or 2 or 3 months or anything.
Yeah,
But I still think as a buyer, the buyer needs to understand. why are they making the offer that they're making? And for the agent just to sit there and go, yeah, let's make a full price offer without supporting that decision. Yeah. And there's too many agents like that, unfortunately.
That's why at one point I did think about getting my real estate license. I feel like lender from our side, like we could be a great buyer's agent who will understand the loan side, will also understand what is best for the buyer. Feel like a little bit more.
Or at least you have like if I was gonna be a lender doing that, I would wanna have, like, maybe an assistant because I wouldn't wanna have to be the one running around and doing all the showings,
Oh yeah, yeah, of
right?
course.
Yeah, so you're the
That
agent, but
that's
you are like at least like a two-person, you might call it a team, but they're essentially your showing assistant or something like that.
yeah,
Because again, a lender doing an open house, awesome, because now you're able to actually meet people on both
this
the
is
real estate and the lending side. But as far as actually driving around and looking at homes, that can eat up a lot of time. So
this is so true. She just coming. Most agents so lazy. Buyers come to me clueless. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. I just feel like the buyer education is really lacking. That's why it doesn't not surprise me that average age for first-time buyers in US is 40. Average down payment is 10%. Just think about what if you told them the extra 30,000 you're putting down, you're barely saving 200 bucks a month. Will that change your perspective of waiting this long to save enough? See, the price of the real estate has already gone up so much. You've already missed so much appreciation while waiting, trying to save the down payment. That
there's
lot to do with, yeah, I think pricing not being affordable is one thing, but the buyers not getting the education they need is another.
Yeah, and I think that could be something you do a video about. That'd be a great, you could break that up into chunks or a TikTok, Instagram, YouTube short, and then you could also do a 5 to 6 minute video as part of a series on YouTube. Would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Hey,
Okay,
real
so let's
quickly,
talk about that email, right?
yeah, I want to mention the email. So for the agents and brokers, there's 2 emails, and one for the buyers, one for the sellers. So any of the lenders here that have a lender account, the agents under you have the 2 emails I just mentioned. For the lenders, great news from Davos for buyers, and he actually just wrote this about an hour ago, and I was thinking, we thought the president just left Davos. There's been a lot of talk about real estate and with Trump and what he's been talking about. And it's just good as a lender and again as an agent as well to provide a quick little summary for all the leads that we've got. And it just talks about if you've been waiting to get back into the market, referencing the president's speech. In fact, you're the one that wrote this.
The reason I wanna mention the Davos is because in the real estate market, there has been this talk about how the big corporations, the Black Rocks of the world, have been buying up single family homes, and people were have a very anti big corporations and really
Yeah.
piss buyers off. Sorry, that language. So he signed executive order to make sure they cannot do that. So that's a really a highlight. Also, there's active discussion about how to use 401ks as down payment without any penalty. I thought that was a really good point. And
Mm,
lastly, it's already happened. The fact that he's directing 200 billion to purchase treasury bonds to lower rates, and rates have already been reflected in that case. It's pretty close to 6%. If you go to Zillow, they even have 5.99. All these are really good to promote buyers in general. So that's why I put this together.
yeah. Awesome.
I
So
think it's just
as
good
a, go ahead.
information. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
really good information, what's happening. Your buyers, oh yeah, she knows what's going on in the market. So that's just it makes buyer think they're smart when they read it. Oh, okay. Now I got updated what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it literally, he just had that speech yesterday. Some of the stuff has been talked about for a week or so. But in fact, I'll tell you, man, I was in one of the larger Facebook groups and somebody made a comment. Yeah, Trump was talking about 401k. Every thing, like 80% of the agents came in and said, they can do it already. They can already do that. They can already do that. And the person that made the post was like, you obviously didn't read like the difference. And I'm not a lender, but previously, you can use a 401k, but there's a penalty or there's different aspects of paying it back.
Depending on, yeah, because each sponsor plans different. Some of them allow people to do it first time buyers, and there's a limit. So that's why they probably just can't have a general guideline allow everybody to do it without some sort of limit. It's just to make it expanding more to everyone.
Okay. But yeah, so, like you say here, without penalty. And so I think there's even gonna be a lot of buyers who may not realize that this is not the same thing as it was previously. And so just so many of these agents were just completely shut down and uneducated. And so imagine the buyers, right? Buyers, if that many agents were that uneducated about something going on just because they refuse to pay attention, then you can imagine you got buyers as well that don't understand, or they may have heard about it, they may be tangentially aware of it, but they don't necessarily get how it affects them as well. Since I have an agent account, can I use Elderwood agent relationships? I want more partnerships with agents this year. I'll tell you, hold that thought for 1 second because there is, but so real quickly here before we get to that question. So you can either send it to your leads and listings to leads. In fact, yeah, I'm going to send it right now. So it's going to come from your email to the leads, and we're going to just send it to everybody. All right, sent to everybody. I've already sent a test email. If there was anything you wanted to edit, you could, but you're the one that wrote it. So I assume you're fine with it. I could schedule it if it was like at 3 in the morning and I don't want to be like I'm some like weirdo, but it's mid-afternoon. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and send it. And awesome. Now, if I wanted to send that to like through Lofty or through Follow Up Boss or something like that, you can either click copy code and copy the code into your email program, or what's just as easy is just click in the email and select all and then copy it into whatever email program you're using. So that could be Gmail, that could be Outlook, that could be Follow Up Boss, that could be anything. All right. So there's that. Markeisha, I apologize. I would say if no, Yee's got a lender account, so she can add agents to it. All right. She can add agents to it. But the thing that Yee has done that you don't even need the lender account for is I would just go to agents, and Yee does this as well. She'll go to agents and just ask, "Can I market your listing?" And she'll market the listing. And then when she gets the lead notifications for any of the leads coming through, she'll tell the agent, "I'm going to qualify the leads. And if I generate any leads from marketing your property, I'll be sure to share them back with you when they're ready to talk to somebody." And you've actually done this a couple of times already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
think okay,
so
go ahead.
you get leads from it, but then you're also you've referred a few buyers to agents in the
To
area.
agents. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing which I've seen people do is on in your email signature, maybe have a click saying join my agent network or something. Think about that for a second. I think that would be cool.
Have a like a Facebook group or something, or what do you mean?
Yeah, whatever that you think is necessary. I think one thing I need to do better is think about the realtors you want to work with and send them regular tips emails about like how they can generate leads and show them, okay, here's my expired booklet, want to copy things that can just make their business grow.
I'll tell you what, 100% on that one. To that point, exactly. If you're a lender and you don't have a listings to leads lender account, so for example, let's see here if I bring it up. All right, let me see. Let me go to the mastermind group and listings to leads because yeah, giving agents because a lender can give agents an account with listings to leads. And I want to show you something here if you haven't seen it yet. Goodness, how far down is it? I'm going to drop this into the chat. So if you haven't seen it yet, okay. So this is Gwen. All right. And she there's a case study that you can download right after this landing page. And for example, she's going after expireds. She's using the tools and listings to leads to do open houses, which again would be great for a lender if you want to partner with an agent. Even if it's only providing, for example, a rate sheet and then maybe doing some Facebook ad to help in support of their open house. You don't necessarily have to be at the open house necessarily. I think as a lender, it'd be great to, Markeisha, you're an agent as well. So doing videos of another agent's open house, right? Because you're an agent and a lender, you'd be more of like a kind of a bit of a partner. You're not co-listing, but yeah. So anyway, so there's a lot of great benefits of giving an agent an account with listings to leads. But in addition, like I said, even if you don't do that, and you can always transfer. So if you wanted to, if I were to go to listings to leads, and I believe if I go to lenders, yeah, there we go. So if you sign up for a lender account, we could move your agent account into it. And then you have like more seats for other agents. All right. That you can add to your account. But yeah, to the point that we talked about earlier, what Yi has done is she will find a good listing, ask the agent if she can market it, and then share the leads. So refer back because I'll tell you, it's one thing to educate and share tips. There's
Well, you see
nothing
everywhere.
like sharing an actual lead that's ready to move. Because what you're doing is, when you're doing it the right way, is you're generating the lead, you're having conversations, you're getting them educated, you're getting them pre-qualified. During that process, right, you're getting to know them really well. You're finding out the area and the price point, and they start trusting you really fast. By the time you've had a second conversation, they
Yeah.
trust you. And then when you're able to refer them to an agent, that the trust factor is so high that they don't really even barely question them being referred to the agent.
Sorry.
Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. Yeah. If imagine you call the realtor agent back and say, "Hey, I have a buyer." They will be like, "What?" Seriously, I have one. She's a big agent, and plus, when I told her I have a buyer for her, she was just like flabbergasted. Yeah, it's awesome. I didn't know that. Here was her reaction. I didn't know that loan agent will refer business to me. I've never had in my life.
And she's a big agent. She's a pretty big Remax agent up in the Placerville area,
Yeah,
which is, like I said, it's one thing to share tips, even with the best intentions, the best we know it works, it's still work. It's still work they have to do. But if it w and it's there's a lane, there's a place for that kinda stuff, but like I said, man, referring them business is and that builds trust, it builds relationships, right? Anytime you can share money and share success with somebody,
yeah.
the connection that you're gonna make with them is 10x, if not more. Yeah. So again, now running ads for listings is good, but I would say as a lender, and not to, there's another agent. He's doing very similar to what Yi is doing on the down payment assistance, where Yi is coming in at about on average,
$4.
like the low fives. This guy, he's in the twos. I was like, I couldn't believe it when I was checking. So he does. It's a guy, normal looking dude. No, he's not Brad Pitt or anything, just normal looking dude. A similar kind of a video. I can't, was he in a car? I think he might have been, or he might have been outside or at anyways, very similar kind of video, sitting down. He's just talking through the down payment assistance stuff, very similar. In fact, Yi had talked to him and Yi shared her video with him. And so he essentially just emulated what Yi is doing. And he is a lender. He's got a lender account and he's running the same ad for three different agents. So he's running this ad, but through the agent's accounts. And in all three accounts, the leads are under $2 a pop, which is crazy. I'm like, dude, I'm jealous. I'm like, I am so jealous. I can't believe. And so again, there's those questions that are just awesome. What's your time frame to buy? How would you describe your credit? And then what's
Yeah, you can
the
one thing you can do, you can tailor a specific active listing and then run the down payment assistant on that listing.
Yeah, you know what? In fact, here, hold on, check this out. So let's just say, because I know you got a couple of listings in your account. So let's do this. Let's walk through that. I'm not going to make it live. I'm just going to walk through to the create ad because this is that one is actually sold, I believe. Cute little house though. So if I go market
You know
listing,
the 276 St. Louis, that's pending finally.
oh, awesome.
100,000 price reduction later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the ad for sale by owner. I'm sorry, for what am I saying? For sale in Oroville. No, no, by owner. For sale in Oroville. Actually, the listing agent, I'm not sure why it doesn't say listing purchase. Didn't spell the name right, but that's fine. We're not really doing an ad. All right. So notice in the banner here, zero down and down payment assistance for qualified buyers, for sale in Oroville. So if I'm a lender, so yeah, check this out because this is going to connect the dots for a lender doing an ad for a listing. All right. So there's two things I'm going to do here differently than a normal agent. One, the default banner is not going to say zero down or down payment assistance for qualified buyers, or you can VA loans available or USDA or find whatever seller credit, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be exactly what I said. And I clicked the wrong thing. I apologize. I'm going to click change template. All right. So that pops up like this. There's an edit icon right here. So edit. And now I can edit the images, the color, the text, and the little banners here. So if I wanted this to say, like E, is there anything else that would make sense for something like this that would be compelling?
No, I think what we have is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm a lender, right? But again, it could be seller incentives available, USDA, VA, whatever. But just so now you know how to change that. All right. And again, I can change the color, the images. The second thing as a lender that I would do differently from the agent, as a lender, I would come in here and go advanced options. So again, it's those questions on the lead form that we
Mhm.
want to tailor a little bit differently than what an agent would do. So create new form because we're going to change those questions right here. And so so I'm a lender and I'm running an ad for another agent's listing. All right, with their permission. So we got, what is your time frame to buy? Let's just leave that for a second here. What actually, what you could do is just do the exact same thing. So I'm going to turn that off.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like that those questions.
yeah. How much do you currently have available for a down payment? No, that's not it. How would you describe your credit?
Yeah.
All right, right now, that one. Right. What's your maximum payment you're comfortable with? Now, the only thing different about this one is the
Oh, you can
home.
also put, "Have you been pre-approved?"
Yeah, because the home, they're going to have a sense of how much that home is. The price of the home may or may not be in the ad. In fact, I wonder if it might be good in this model to put the price in the home so that they know so they almost self qualify before they. All right, hold on a second. Let me do this. For Sun Orville, this home, I'm going to say, or what was the price of this? Do you remember? Two
3
275.
no, like 349, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm just going to do the goofy price to sell at 350,000. All right. Now, why do I do that? Because it's going to help self-select people that are, and this is a very low price range. Obviously, is that a manufactured home?
No, it's not single family, but it's in Oroville. That's why it's cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. And Orville is actually a really pretty area. It's right near the mountains, and there's a lake over there. Great area. But anyways, so I'm going to put the price there because that's going to help self-select people then I don't have to ask that question about monthly payment
Mm.
because people are gonna have a sense of the price points that they're gonna be appropriate for. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to create new form questions. All right. So what's your time frame to buy? Leave that just for the moment. See if you qualify for zero. Now, we've already got that in the banner, so I'm not gonna necessarily ask that question.
Credit score would be a good one, no?
Yeah, do the credit score. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
I'll describe your credit score. So we got that. That's good. If it was new construction, you could do that one, but this is not new construction, obviously. And yeah, have you
Oh,
been pre-approved? I think that's
yeah.
fine. That's good. Yep. And yeah, let's just do what's your time frame to buy? What's your time frame to buy?
Yep.
And so here are the 3 questions. What's your time frame to buy? Have you been pre-approved? And how would you describe your credit score? Perfect. Create new form. And you may, as a lender, have different questions that you want to ask. But the cool thing is you've got control over those questions. Again, don't do more than 3. You got name, you got email, you got phone number. That's going to be the default. And then you can add 3 more on top of that. If you only want to do 1, you only want to do 2, that's fine, but don't do any more than 3. And then that way, when you get the lead notification email or it goes to your CRM or it drops into listings to leads, you're going to see those 3 questions with the lead information and what they replied. So your follow-up is gonna be a lot stronger because
Mhm.
now you know some of the basic information about them and you can speak to it, right?
Yep.
Because when you only got name, email, and phone number and you're calling people, it's a little bit rough,
I've
a
gone
little
through
rough.
that, yeah. But
Yeah.
you know what? I know. When we first start doing stuff like that, we're just learning as well, like what makes sense. So it's good to do the cold calling because it's really built your character. I think many
Right.
people is good. It's not easy. I've been called all kinds of names. But hey, I also had great conversations, so don't get discouraged.
Ye just let us end the call here with what is your tips for time blocking, calling, not getting discouraged, keeping consistent?
Yeah, first thing first, you have to write very good notes. Okay. Get very organized, especially follow up. If you don't write good notes, you don't know what you said the last time or what you did. That's not really good. It just makes the follow up so much more tedious and so much more inefficient. So organize yourself is absolutely must. And then pick a time. I normally do in the summer days, I do 7 to 8. And the winter times I do 6:30 to 7:30. And Fridays I don't call. I call Saturday 10 to I actually spend a bit more time on Saturday, like 10 to 1. I do cold
Mm,
call.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you for any of you, I can't really get into showing lead details, but in listings to lead, describe how you use because you were using Follow Up Boss and you got away from it because you could never really figure it out. Now, Follow Up Boss has a lot
Oh,
of
it's a
stuff
little
that
bit
we d
complicated, yeah.
but you just
No,
describe what you do in listings to lead. So could you add notes, you add reminders, you got the follow-up from listings to leads?
yeah. So we actually just improved our download capability. So in Listing Studios, you can download all your leads and you'll have all the forms that they filled out. For example, time frame to buy, like the credit score, all that information can be downloaded. So organize that spreadsheet, then you can categorize your leads based on hot, medium, and cold. So each lead category will follow a specific sequence, right? So hot leads, you need to call, text, email, somehow get them to respond.
Yeah, yeah,
The mediums do the same, and then the cold, just put them on the drip campaign, depending on what
right.
their needs are. So
But I'm just saying in listings to leads, you can make notes, you can,
yeah, that's what I
uh
mean. You can make the notes, you can download the leads
yeah,
based on the ads
yeah,
that they're coming from, and then you can prioritize. The key is just really have a actionable, executable spreadsheet
yeah,
that you
yeah,
can track.
yeah.
One other thing I'm hoping that will have is to be able to do mass text.
Yes.
Yeah, that will add a lot of great functions to follow up. But
Yeah, oh,
we
yeah.
have this amazing AI text follow up. But when you do listing ads, AI immediately engages with the lead,
Yeah.
and that you can move them from a qualified lead to a really hot lead. Because once they have qualified these leads, you can text them or call them right away.
Yeah, and I'll just mention here, for any of you using different CRMs, we do integrate pretty much with every CRM out there, whether it's a direct API connection, Bold Trail, Boomtown, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, or it's through what's called a lead forwarding email address, which most CRMs do have. You may not be aware of it, but if your CRM is not listed here, you can ask them for this thing. Again, it's called lead forwarding email. And then we've also got API Nation, which people use. And then we got Zapier, which a lot of people use. And if you're using Go High Level, you'd want Zapier Lead Connector. So that's the lead connector here. That's the Go High Level Zapier. Yeah, she's got Follow Up Boss. Awesome. Yep.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, you two might want to connect at some point because, yeah, Yi was using Follow Up Boss for a while and
Yeah, I
she
don't get the
never,
mass text to work. I just give up.
yeah, yeah. Marquesha, you're on our expired calls sometimes, I think. I know I see you in some of our other calls as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I remember the name. Yeah, and she's watching us from YouTube, which is awesome. I hope
Oh,
we're hey, let me ask you, is the video quality good? Are we blurry
yeah,
or
we can tell.
are we decent? Yeah, because sometimes I look at the recording, I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize it was
So bad.
blurry or whatever." So, anyways, all right. Anything else that we need to talk about, or are we good? Anybody else have any questions for us? All right. Again, listing to leads. My name is Scott Pierce. I'm the founder and one of the lead trainers. Yi Gong is a mortgage broker using listings to leads to grow her business. And we just been talking through things. So anybody's got any questions, please let us know.
Yeah, and anybody have any suggestions to make the system better, let us know as well.
Yeah. And can't wait to see. It's funny because I did ah, what happened here? Please reconnect your Facebook account. Boy. All right. We'll look at that after we get off this call. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. It's good. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, did you see you saw the Gwen Dorsey stuff, right? And I
Are you
love
still
Gwen Dorsey.
live? Uh,
Huh?
you are still live.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay.
just because Marquesha, she gets on our expired stuff. And I
Oh,
was
so you
saying,
wanna talk about something. Okay.
yeah, Gwen is just so, I love her to death because she would get on her calls every morning and she would just pay attention. You could see she had her Zoom video on, which I love. And so she's getting ready for the day. And she's walking around and doing her stuff. And it took her a couple of weeks to really get going with it because I know, and I'm completely the same way where I just want to have a basic level of understanding. And then once she got clicked a little bit with her, she started taking action. And then she was coming in 2 to 3 days with another. I dropped by a FISBO, I went to an expired, I had this conversation, and she really started around Thanksgiving taking action. From
Mhm.
Thanksgiving to now, 3 listings, 2 buyers, and she's got I think the consistency and the activity where she's got a really nice pipeline that's gonna really grow. And in our conversation, I said something about she goes, "I had 2 listing appointments in one day from doing all of the work." And she goes, "My goal is to get 2 listings a week from," and she's been in the business for 27 years, from 27 years.
She
And
finally find a way, thing to listing
yeah,
Celine.
but here's the thing. She's got an amazing personality.
Yeah.
She's smart. She's spoken. It's just having an easy, repeatable process that isn't spinning your wheels 20 different directions. At least people are like, "Hey, you got to get on Instagram and you're not going to do anything if you don't do TikTok." And all of that stuff is like a layer right on top of the core. So the core is going after expireds, doing the open houses, all right, using the tools for the database that we provide you. The stuff that you're doing on TikTok and Instagram and all of that, that should be in support of all the activities that you are doing. Because if you're going to just think you're going to go onto TikTok and Instagram and grow your business just from that alone, that's not going to work, or it's going to take a hell
Long
of a
time.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of luck. God, who knows why one person goes viral, all right, and they're hitting 10,000 views a post, and the other person is
Doing
sitting there
consistently can never break 1,000. Yeah.
yeah. It's if you're gonna trust the algorithm, especially the unpaid algorithm to
Who has
what your well,
tremendous advertising.
yeah. Now the paid algorithm, right, that's a different thing, but I'm talking
Mhm.
about the free algorithm where you're just completely at their mercy.
Right.
Yeah, so anyway, but and the reason I said that is because Gwen's actually she's really good on her videos. She does, like, the Instagram and the Facebook stuff, and she's really good at that as well. She'll do the videos on open houses. One last thing, and I want you to commit to this. I wanna show this. Somebody in the mastermind group asked about this, and we'll answer them a little bit later this afternoon. I want you to do 2 things, and anybody on this call that wants to do this as well. We've got short form video scripts, and there's 2 categories. One is on the dashboard, and it's just random stuff. Now, not every day is going to be appropriate. So, National Blonde Brownie Day, it might be a little bit of a stretch. We got on the 24th, International Day of Education, Irish Coffee Day, chocolate cake is a good one, National Pie Day on the 23rd. So, all of these will have a script. All right. And the idea here for this one, for example, I want you and anybody on this call, these are so good,
Me.
especially when you can tie them into a local, especially a locally owned establishment. So, for example, in Folsom, there's Karen's or there's specialties or there's something else. They're like another local bakery that has great pies. And so take the script, go to a local bakery, all right, or local pie shop or whatever you want to do. Could be whatever. Could be Bob Evans or Waffle House. I don't know. Does Waffle House do pie? But whatever. Do the script out in the field where you're promoting a local business. You can tag the business when you get a little bit more comfortable and you get a little bit better at doing it. You could actually do it in conjunction, have the manager or the owner with you to do the video. And you're using, right, the fact that it's National Pie Day to promote a local business. And because you tag the local business and you maybe shout them out. So you're going to use both the hashtag and the at symbol. All right. So you use the at symbol in the text of the post. You use the hashtag at the end of it. And then you're going to get more of their audiences engaged with you. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's one thing. And every week we got like anywhere from 5 to 6, right? National Irish Coffee Day, right? I'm sure if you just go to Yelp, if you don't know, and just who's got the best Irish coffee, you're going to find a really cool pub, cafe, bar, like a happy hour, or not happy hour, but like a brunch type of thing, maybe. I don't know. Let's go look on the next slide. Croissant Day, the full moon. I love the full moon one. Hot chocolate day. It's a little, must be chocolate
It's
for
like every day is a food day.
like, we did that on purpose just because we want and what we
Oh,
try to
for the
do is
local. Yeah.
where we can tie in local businesses so that, again, like I just mentioned, that you can establish not just relationships, but if you do it right, to connect with their audiences. All right, that's the one section. And I think I'll give you the strategy on that a little bit later. But then on PDF guides, I want you to try and commit to doing 2 to 3 of these a week. If I click on marketing tools, check this out, short form video script, and you can do this at your desk. You can do this at your desk, and it's a super short script. Once you've done it a couple of times, you don't even need a teleprompter, right? You can just do it, and you read through the script, understand what it's talking about. If you want to add to it, you can do it. If you want to put it in a teleprompter, you can. But we've got dedicated scripts for lenders, but then we've also just got great scripts like first time home buyer, buying new construction, that I think as a lender would be totally fine, right? Because as a lender, you're trying to engage buyers. And even though 6 things to check before buying a home, right? That might be something a little bit more appropriate for an agent to advertise. But as a lender, why can't you do a video, right? offering your free guide, 6 things to check before buying a home, right? And if you learn and I think really the easiest thing to do would be to learn how to do green screen, like maybe, whether it's in TikTok or CapCut, and then you just before you record the video, find an image that is good for these ones, and it could even be the image of the guide itself. So if I were to go to Facebook and Instagram ad, I could actually download this image. I go to change image and video. I find maybe that image and I can download it. And then I could have that image, upload that to CapCut or TikTok and have it behind me while
Mhm.
while I do the
The video.
script. Yeah,
Mhm.
while I do the video. So these are 2 things that are easy. We've got them in the system for you. All right. We got them right in the system for you. It's just a matter of actually knocking it out. And so I know you've been talking about trying to get one of your assistants some better work to do for you and having them help you organize these videos and making sure they get done. Because I think once you get through them a few times, like Leo, remember Leo, the Greek guy who does those really great videos? You can get to that level later, but I think just starting with these 2 ideas would be a phenomenal way to get going. All right. Yeah, green screened. I gotta ask my 14-year-old for a lesson on that. Or I'm sorry, 14, 17.
You like 3 years ago.
Goodness, what am I talking about? Let me see here. Someone is what is no, no. Oh, that's so funny. Anyways, all right. Anything else that we should discuss?
No, I
Yeah.
think we're good.
Yeah, I know, too many systems. I feel the struggle,
Okay.
the pain. All right, everybody, listen, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate it. If you got anything, get into the mastermind group. If you're a lender and you want to connect with Yi, you can just DM her on Facebook. If you're a lender, right? She loves to connect with other lenders, right? And share things that are working and new ideas. And please share our bi-weekly calls with other lenders in your network. We'd love to have them on with us. And with that, Yi, are we good?
Yes, we're good. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and spending time with us. Have a wonderful rest of the week and just keep plugging away and keep making the calls.
All right. Take care,
See you guys.
everybody. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.